Recording. All righty. So we had some good masterminding last time, gave Kelly some space to work through something that she is moving forward on. Kelly, do you feel complete with what we were at okay, good. Does anybody else have something that they would like to mastermind on? Pick the magic brains of this group. Holy cow, what power right here. Okay, not seeing anything, so I'm going to pose a question. Since I like to use Wednesday as Wisdom Wednesday, right? And what I really saw Foxy doing, her decision to move forward with this was tapping into her inner wisdom about the situation. And so does anybody have a decision that you've made already this week where you really tapped into your inner wisdom and went to kind of your soul and your heart versus the logic? I would love to hear any examples of that. I could tell Shelly had something.
I'm trying to look at me holding back to make sure, because I know other people like act more slowly and I don't always want to be the fast acting. But yeah, I do have something.
Great. Share an example of tapping into that inner wisdom.
So I had this moment like where I was trying to figure out, fall has always been my favorite season, right? And I was thinking about like, is it the back to school thing? Is it the weather? What is it? And I have been feeling like a sad, sappy, sorry cliche all summer long since Fletcher graduated. And I've had this, like, the empty nest thing really snuck up on me. I feel like I've been releasing kids from the nest I have been for 18 years. So all of a sudden, like I thought, what's the big deal? One more, whoo, good. Good riddance. Like, I'm ready to live my life. That's kind of how I was looking at it. And then that's not really how it came down. And then Sorsha bought a house and she took the cat, and all of a sudden I'm like, it's just so weirdly quiet. And then we got to fall, and like without having the ability to plan my kids like homeschool, I just didn't really know what to do. And then I had this moment where I decided I could have my gap year. Like, what I really want is to homeschool myself. There's a bunch of stuff I want to learn. There's a bunch of, and I think sometimes people like go back to school or think they have to like go do a formulated. I have some courses that I bought that I've never done. I have some books that have been on my to read shelf for a really long time. And so even though it makes no kind of sense in the land logically, it just makes me really excited to think about planning something for myself to do like that instead of my kids.
Yeah. Going to that space of what's going to be meaningful for you moving through this, right? Instead of moving on from this. I think that's such an important thing, is to move through and find a pathway that serves you. Yeah, love that. Great example of just, it's that pause, right? Wait a minute, why am I feeling this way? And what do I want to do about this? And what can be the opportunity for me here? But you have to go through those kind of, it's that soul searching is really so important. Love that.
Yeah, can I just say, the more money I make, the less I realize that anything is about money. You only think it's about money when you don't have any. I mean, no kidding. Like, I just can't believe I look back on things and I think, oh, yep, wasn't about money. Who knew?
Yeah. It is really eye-opening when we can let go of the
when you don't it's like any. Air. It's not that important until you don't have any. So yeah, I do feel you there. There was a time when I know it was like I counted things to the penny. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but there's on the other side of that. So like, okay, one more funny story is somebody wanted to coach with me and I thought, I'm not a coach. That's not what I do. So I threw out what felt to me like an absolutely ridiculous sum of money. And she said, where do I send the check?
Yeah.
And so I said to Jim, I'm like, oh yeah, apparently I'm charging $2.50 an hour now for my time. So yay. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like stacked up a little bit. So yeah, so it's just kind of interesting. So ask for beyond your wildest dreams, I guess. All I
Mhm.
know is you're not charging enough.
Yeah, yeah. It's true for most of us, right? It's scary to take that leap, but when it's the right thing, it does happen, you know. So
Yeah, she paid for my gap year. So
yeah, there you go. Love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, this was amazing. Inner wisdom, we all have it. And so I just encourage you to think about that as you go through the rest of your week, to tap into that and use your own inner wisdom to guide you in your decisions. So, with that, it is time to jump over to our build hour with Miss Laura. I'm going to stop the recording.